Hello and welcome to Challenge Your Mind, Change the World, the podcast where we dive deep into the art of communication and critical thinking, and how these essential skills can transform our relationships and our futures with our teens. I'm your host, Francesca Hudson, the classic high school teacher, a writer, entrepreneur, and an advocate for meaningful conversations. Each episode, I explore strategies and share insights on how parents can enhance their communication with their children. It's not just about talking, it's about listening, understanding, and fostering an environment where critical thinking thrives. I'm here to equip you with the tools not only for immediate improvements in your family interactions, but also to set up our teens for long-term success in every aspect of their lives. So whether you're on your morning commute or winding down for the evening, join me as we unlock the potential of our conversations to shape a brighter, more thoughtful world. Let's get started. Hello, my friend. Welcome to the show. Today, I want to talk about overwhelm, because for so many teenagers, writing doesn't just feel hard. It feels heavy. It feels stressful. It feels emotional. And I'm not just talking about essay writing, I'm talking about any kind of writing that requires your teen to produce some written work for school. And for parents, it's heartbreaking to watch. You can see the pressure building when they sit down to try and put something onto the page, and you can see that self-doubt creeping in, and you can see them shutting down. All of those signs are happening. So today I want to show you why writing feels overwhelming to start with, and then how to make it feel lighter for your child, for your teenager. So why does writing feel so big? Why is it something that teenagers really try and wriggle out of, that they really don't enjoy writing a lot of the time? And I'm not talking about all teenagers. You might have a teen at home that loves writing. They love creative writing, or they love research reports. But maybe the essays or maybe the longer responses are the thing that they really struggle with. It's a tricky area of writing, and the problem is this. When teachers say write an essay, teens hear write an introduction, write body paragraphs, include quotes, analyze, explain, link ideas, use evidence, be formal, be clear, be clever. There's so much going on, and their brain hears do 15 things perfectly, and that's terrifying. That is so overwhelming. So instead of starting, they actually do the opposite. They procrastinate. Instead of trying, they avoid. Instead of writing, they panic. Does this sound familiar with your teen at home? And it's not because they can't write. It's because the task feels too big. In their mind, it's just too much. So I have a cure. I call it the Overwhelm cure. And it's a very simple term. It's actually called chunking. You heard right, chunking. Big tasks become small tasks, so we're chunking them into small tasks, and then those small tasks feel safe, and safe brains can think. So instead of saying write an essay, for example, you could say let's plan your ideas, or let's write one paragraph, or let's add one quote. Let's build from there. So suddenly, can you see how we are chunking the whole task into smaller, manageable, bite-sized pieces? And that means that suddenly the mountain, this essay mountain, becomes little tiny baby steps. And every step builds confidence. And that confidence is going to build motivation, it's going to build confidence, it's going to build encouragement that they can actually get something out on the page. They can achieve something. They might even be able to finish the whole essay. And it's actually what I call the writing confidence loop. This is what I see in confident writers, where when they get that clarity, that chunking, that one small piece of the puzzle, if you like, they get that clarity, that turns into action. So then they do a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and then that in turn turns into success. They've finished the essay, they've gone further than what they thought they would. They got more ideas out onto the page than what they thought they could achieve. And then from that builds the confidence. And so for struggling writers, this is the problem. It's the opposite. When they sit down and let's say, for example, the teacher or the homework task says, write an essay on ... So that's their general task. They sit down and they go from confusion. They don't know how to start. They don't know what to do. They don't know what ideas to pull from. That confusion turns into avoidance. They don't want to do it. They're going to procrastinate. They're going to go and find something else to do. They're going to muck around for an hour. And so that therefore in turn creates failure because they haven't achieved the task. They haven't handed anything in. And then that failure leads to self-doubt. They feel like they can't do it. They feel they're no good at English or they're no good at the subject at school. They're no good academically, whatever it is. And that's a really intense loop. So our job is to flip the loop. We want to get out of this confusion, avoidance, failure, self-doubt loop. We want to flip it. So what we do instead is we give them structure. So we want to give them writing frames. We want to give them a clear baby step outline of start here, then do this next, then do this next. Then we want to give them some examples of what good writing looks like in that particular task. Then we want to give them scaffolding. So maybe starting a paragraph for them and let them fill the rest out. And then we want to give them clear models. So we want to show them exactly what the difference is between maybe a literary task, a research task, a formal piece, a creative piece, and so on. So they in turn experience, I know what I'm doing now. And that feeling changes everything. Now, if you're a parent at home, I know that's a lot to try and provide your teenager. How on earth are you going to be able to give them structure, examples, scaffolding, clear models when it comes to their writing homework? And that's exactly why I created my essay toolkits and bundles to take away that missing piece in the puzzle when it comes to providing support to your teen at home. Because the toolkits and the bundles that I have written with exactly this problem in mind, they don't just teach writing, they remove the overwhelm. They show teens what an essay actually looks like, whether that's a literary essay, a formal essay, a research essay. It shows teens how each part works, the relevance, because teenagers need relevance. They need to know why they're doing what they're doing. And we talk about how to build their writing step by step. And if writing feels heavy for you in your home, then you'll find these toolkits incredibly helpful. You can explore them via the link in the show notes. I'll link them in the show notes, but we have something for every type of learner. We have literary response for advanced scholars, if you like, at school, or we have read and respond for teens that find it really hard to understand the hidden meaning in texts. We've got the essay clinic, which is our complete step-by-step guide on how to write an essay for high school level. We've got the fast draft essay toolkit for teens that struggle to get their ideas out on page or even don't even know how to start. We have the Write Anything toolkit for students that might have dyslexia tendencies or might find it really hard to be able to write any type of topic or subject at school. So there's something for everybody. And what I want to leave today's episode with, my parting thought really with this episode, is that writing doesn't need to feel like a battle. And I really hope that at home, if you are finding that the writing component to homework and the writing component to schoolwork and studies and exam preparation for your teenager is a real stress point, it's a real battle, then I'm here to help you and to tell you that it can feel structured, it can feel manageable, and it can even feel empowering because your teen is capable of far more than they personally believe. And this is why these toolkits are so powerful, because they really will start to erode some of that self-doubt that maybe your teen has been feeling around English class or around writing in general, and start to give them that scaffolding and that structure and that support that they so desperately need. So if you are wanting a little bit of extra help or a little bit of extra guidance, then please drop me a line and I will be happy to point you in the right direction or talk through some of our toolkits in more detail with you based on your child's needs. That's not a problem at all. I'm always so happy to hear from parents and answer any questions you have. So you can drop me a line at info@theclassichighschoolteacher.com and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So that was today's episode on how to make writing feel less overwhelming. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so privileged to have such a wonderful audience of parents and educators who are all like-minded, who all want the best for their teenagers. It is a privilege to talk with you. Until next time, bye for now. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Challenge Your Mind, Change the World. I hope you found our discussion enriching and that you're walking away with new ideas to enhance communication and critical thinking within your own family. If you enjoyed this episode and are finding value in our conversations, please take a moment to rate us on your favourite podcast platform. Your feedback not only supports us, but also helps other parents discover the tools they need to foster stronger relationships and critical thinking skills with their teens. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and share this with someone who you think could benefit from our today's topic. I'm Francesca Hudson, and I look forward to joining you again next time as we continue to challenge our minds and change the world. Until then, keep thinking critically and communicating effectively.